thank each of you for being here. I really appreciate it. I want to point out to you, I mentioned earlier, this painting in front, my sister Cheryl just completed this week. It's a picture of God welcoming Deanna dancing into heaven. That was Deanna's vision of 1 second after she passed from this earth. Deanna was born on February 13th of 1943 in Buffalo, New York. She's the oldest of 5 sisters. When she was 4, the family moved to LA. She went to Catholic church there. Her family next moved to Richmond, California. And at 12 years old, she was diagnosed with diabetes. She went to Richmond High School until the last half of her senior year, when the family again moved, this time with 4 sisters, to this town of Antioch, where she graduated from high school. She then attended DVC, earning a AA in liberal arts. In '63, the family again moved to Sacramento. There she worked as an office accountant for a couple of years, and in the summer of '66, Deanna and I met. We dated through the year. We got engaged at Christmas and were married on April 29, 1967. It was on her parents' 25th wedding anniversary. Our reception, their anniversary party, combined together. Our honeymoon was in Sausalito. We went sightseeing to Golden Gate Park and Fisherman's Wharf. Each saw Esquire to go, and a bottle of Pepsi was our wedding night dinner. She loved fish and chips. We returned to our studio apartment in Napa, where I started a new job on May 8th. 3 months later, we lost our first baby. Diabetes is cruel. In September, we bought our first house. In March of '68, we lost our second baby. Our faith was severely shaken and tested. Diabetes is cruel. One of our mutual desires was to have several children, and by August, she was pregnant again. At 7 months, our daughter, Cranda Rose, was born. She was real small and couldn't come home for a couple of weeks. As an infant, Kendra was sung lullabies, read to, and rocked for hours and hours each day. By late spring, she was bundled and taken out for stroller walks every day. Now we moved again, or for the first time, to Pinole. So it's only 5 miles from my new job in Berkeley. We had another child, Heidi Rose, born there, premature, lived only 24 hours. We looked into adopting, but were refused because of the diabetes. It's a cruel disease. Deanna began having open sores that wouldn't heal. Finally, we found a doctor that walked into the room looking at her chart and says, "You're diabetic. Those are diabetic ulcers." No one knew until then. Deanna injured her big toe at home and ignored it for weeks and finally went to the doctor. Well, she had a major infection was immediately hospitalized, had 2 toes and the metatarsal bones amputated. After 30 days, she was finally discharged. We debrided, cleaned, and dressed that wound for months. She needed special shoes and walked with a cane after that. I changed jobs to Chevron, and then after working on a couple other projects, I was assigned a project to build the data center and office complex in San Ramon. Well, we immediately started house hunting before it got explosive, and in September of '82 we moved to Danville into our half of the duplex, actually. Deanna and her grandma Bryson had always been very close. Her grandma lived with their family for many years. All birthdays and holidays we celebrated together. But 2 months after we moved, her grandma was 89 and was struck down by a car crossing the street when she was out for her daily mile and a half walk. So for a month she was in the hospital, and then for the following 2 years, Deanna drove daily over to the nursing home to visit her. Finally, Deanna's health and vision problems prevented her from continuing. Grandma lived past her 97th birthday. She would frequently ask, "How long does dying take?" Deanna always assured her that it was until Jesus was ready for her. Deanna's vision was failing quickly. Diabetic retinopathy. For about 6 years, she was legally blind. She sat in bed and listened to TV. Diabetes is a cruel disease.